She walks in, she grabs a straight razor, and she just says, and just goes in the bathtub. And I was just like, holy shit, did she just do that?
H to the is O, V to the is A. For shizzle, my nizzle used to dribble down in VA.
Alright, so I want to get my opinion out there in my review on the show 13 Reasons Why. Because the show's kind of blowing up, even though it's been out for a few days, and I don't want people to be like, oh, you're such a bad... No, shut the fuck up. I watched it the first day it came out. Just give me my review. Take it or leave it. I just want to get it out there. So overall, what did I think of the show? I thought it was really good. If you guys don't know what it is, it's based on a book about a high schooler who commits suicide. Before she dies, she makes tapes, and each tape is a story of a person of why that person led her to kill herself. And overall, it's a cool premise. I'm watching the show, like I was about to go into it, and I'm thinking, okay, a high schooler, she commits suicide. How is this going to be 13 episodes? Oh, I see now. So it's a 13 episode, it's a season, and they set it up for a second season. By the way, this is going to have spoilers in it, so if you don't want to watch spoilers, just leave. It sets up for a second season. So Hannah Baker, who commits suicide. Clay Jensen gets these tapes. He was a good friend of Hannah. He starts listening to it, and he finds out that he's not the only one who's listened to these tapes. Almost like 9 or 10 people before him have listened to these tapes and know the secrets of what's hidden in these tapes that nobody else knows except the people who've been on the tapes. And he kind of starts to run with it and is exploiting people. Something that, you know, he should do and what the other people should have done. There's a few things that I thought were funny with it, not the concept, but how relatable it was to my high school life. Now, I wasn't bullied or anything like that, and actually I was not popular. I was just well known. People knew not to include me in drama because I don't give a shit about drama. Like, honestly, the second 2:30 rang, I was out the door and everything stayed behind. I only had a few friends I'd talked to, and everybody else stayed at school, and I left, and they knew. Like, there's parties in the show, and it seems like somehow there's always drama. There's ways to go to parties and not have any drama, but under certain circumstances, I guess. I like how the show flew with every time Clay listened to a tape, it was a flashback, kind of meeting up with present time, and you really feel bad for this Hannah Baker chick, because she was just dealt a shit hand the whole thing. And that's what I thought was interesting, is that, not me personally, but I've seen people who have gone through drama and, you know, crappy situations like that. It's almost like, wow, I'm fresh out of high school, so I'm just go with this stuff. Now, is everybody gonna like this show? I don't know. Is everybody gonna relate to the show? Times were different in high school, you know, years ago. For the higher ups now, I mean, it's a cool show, it's a cool premise, but I don't know if they're gonna get it like millennials do now. Overall, the characters were cool. Of course, there was characters I hated for good reason. They acted good, but like Courtney, oh, don't even get me started on her. I can make a whole different video on her. Marcus, that guy was an asshole. Bryce was the king douche of this show. And then there's characters where you started to not like them, or you didn't like them in the beginning, and then towards the end you kind of liked them. So like there was Justin, who I didn't really like. And then at the end of the show, I kind of liked him. There was Alex, who he had his moments where I was like, all right, for the most part, I didn't like him. There's Jessica, she was just annoying. I mean, yeah, she gets raped by Bryce. I felt bad for that situation, as anybody should. But everything before that, I was just kind of like, shut the fuck up. Sherry, I don't know. I still kind of like Sherry, even though she caused the accident with, what was his name? Was it AJ? No, Zeke? Zach? Fuck. I don't know. The kid who dies in the car accident because Sherry hit the stop sign. Even though that she caused that to happen, you know, she still was kind of nice to Hannah, even though she kind of left Hannah on the side of the road. It was cool, but then her and Clay got into it, and Clay kind of said, you know what, fuck you, you did some shady shit, I'm out of here. And I thought they were going to hook up. Not like, you know, in the bedroom. I thought they were actually going to have a relationship. Probably him and Sky are going to end up together. But that's another thing. Anyway, I'm getting way sidetracked. Hannah Baker, she did really good. The Baker family. That was a cool, tough thing to watch, though. That, you know, every time they were on scene, you just felt their emotion. It's just, it sucks what they were going through. And then they show the flashback, and you know that they're going to show the suicide scene at the end. And they do not hold back on that scene. I mean, you know, she walks in, she grabs a straight razor, and she just says, and just goes in the bathtub. And I was just like, holy shit, did she just do that? You knew she was going to do it. You just didn't know that they were actually going to show it as graphic as they did. And you really feel like, oh my God. that scene, it was tough to get. There's a couple scenes in this show that were tough to get through. And this is why I like the show so much. I thought it was just going to be kind of like a teenager drama show, but it's just way more than that. I mean, on top of the suicide that I knew it was going to be kind of dark, there is shit in the show. So, people are getting raped. That's just tough. A tough subject in general. That Bryce, he messed around with Jessica and then Hannah. What caused Hannah basically to kill herself, you can totally see in that scene when he's raping Hannah. She just gives up and she's just like, you know what, I'm tapping out of life and this is it. This is the end game. There's nothing else that I have at this point. My family's too busy with their bills. Clay, who I pushed away, though he wants me, doesn't want anything to do with me anymore. I have no friends. Everybody's just kind of left me. My nudes are basically spread around because Justin gave them to Bryce. It's just a clusterfuck. So she's got really nothing to live for, which is so unfortunate. At the end of the day, it really was a good show. And they did set it up for a second season with a few things here and there. More specifically with what Clay and Tony plan on doing. Tony was such a pain in my ass this show because you're with Clay and you want answers. And every time Clay would ask Tony, like, just the simplest question, he's just like, you gotta listen to the tapes. Like, listen, dude, I got 7 tapes to get through. Just give me one fucking answer. That's all I ask for, please. But in Tony's defense, Clay took like a week to get through this box of tapes. I think Alex said he got through it in one night. I get it, Clay had a thing for it. He couldn't really listen to the tapes, but overall, I think you guys should watch the show. I liked it. I mean, I hope it goes for a second season, but I know the book ends where season 1 ends. So if they make a second season, it's just going to be what the writers think, and I hope it's not stupid. I mean, you see Tyler with the fucking, like, AR-15s at the end and, like, titanium bombs and wires, and he's got basically a fucking hit list in the photography room. He takes down Alex's photo, but my voice cracked. That's a whole different reason. And then who the fuck got shot in the head at the end? Oh, then Alex shoots himself in the head. Justin goes to fucking who knows where. Meanwhile, Clay's mom, even though she worked on the case the whole series, doesn't still know what the fuck's going on. Mr. Porter finally gets the tapes in. It's a clusterfuck. Listen, you guys watch the show. We'll see what happens in season 2. I just wanted to give my review, guys. I'll see you next time.
Mama
Bye.
said that it was okay. Mama said that it was quite alright. Our kind of people had a bed for the night, and it was okay.